There are no decent women. There are no decent men.
Fuck these petty niggas is a bitch motto.
Pain lit it up, pop shit, I hit him up. I know I sound confident, I'm supposed to though. Shall I proceed? Yes indeed.
Ready or not, here I come.
Co-rock the party and the big girl stand.
It ain't no showdown for no crown, I'm holding that.
Yo, this your girl Love, and you're listening to Heartless Beauty, the podcast where we practice self-love, self-care, and self-respect. And the motto is, she who embraces life to the fullest. So let's get into this. All right, beauties, let's see you on the other side.
I'm still heartless, don't get me started. I'm back up on my bullshit now.
27 hearts.
Regardless, I'm still heartless, don't get me started. I'm back up on my bullshit now. You hoes just look exhausted. Regardless, I'm still heartless, don't get me started. You bitches wanna come for me, let's get this party started. I'm back up on my bullshit, full clip, looking like a new bitch. Who's this? Got fries and a whole shake.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Love, and I'm back. So this episode is Free Your Mind Friday, and on this episode it's going to be a little bit more about me. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so as I said in my first episode, I am a veteran. I served in the U.S. Navy for 8 years active, a year reserve, and 2 years inactive. So what's that, like 11 years? No, yep. Almost 12 years altogether. It was a great experience for me. I was an operations specialist. Before I was an operations specialist, I was a undesignated seaman. So for those civilians who don't know what undesignated means or whatever, it basically is like the ship's janitor. Yeah, so anyway, I started out as like a E1, even though I was in college at the time or whatever. I joined when I was 21. Yeah, so I pretty much got a late start. But anyway, so I started in 2005. And like I said, I was on designated seaman, and that shit sucked fucking ass. So I became an operations specialist, which basically, like for the civilians, when you watch those Navy movies or whatever, and it's like all those people in the dark room and they're all like, they got like the radars and shit. Yeah, that's where I was at. So I did that, and I made it all the way up until like E5, right? And then unfortunately I was not able to re-enlist because my rate, there's too many motherfuckers in that bitch. And basically you have to kill somebody in order to make rank. But, some people got lucky and made it, and unfortunately people like me didn't. So what else? Yeah, so I toured a lot of different places. Some of them are repeat, but my favorite place of all was Greece. I love Greece. I love the food. Yeah, so I was in Greece, and that was really fun. It was a really cool experience. I love being out in the water. It was very calming and everything, and I really didn't have to worry about nobody else but myself, basically. So I did that, and I got out in 2013, and I decided to go to school to become an IT, because I've always, worked with computers and electronics and things of that nature. And I graduated in 2017. And not only that did I graduate from college in 2017, I also graduated from cosmetology school maybe like 6 months before that. So I was in 2 schools at the same time, trying to do it all and everything. And then, yeah. So what else? Things that I'm into. So I love fashion. I love art. I love anything that is colorful, even though I don't wear a lot of colors. Crazy, right? I have been into makeup and hair since I was a little girl. Makeup, hair, and fashion since I was a little girl. Clothing. It's like my it's like crack to me, basically. Like, I know it's not a great analogy or anything of that nature, but it is. It's really like crack to me. I can't go without a new hairstyle. I can't go without my nails done, my feet done. I can't not have like a different sense of fashion than everybody else, because I don't like to dress like everybody else. I like to be myself. I like to stand out. And I just like to be different. People think I'm weird, but I don't care. I don't. What else? I have all this stuff like written down in notes and everything. And doing this podcast is still hard, because so y'all just gonna have to bear with me. Like I said, this is gonna be so raw and unfiltered. I'm gonna try, I don't even think I should be scripted for real, but it's professional. But this is we're just going to keep it just down to earth and to the nitty gritty. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm going off on a whole nother tangent, but whatever. Anyway, so like I was saying, I love fashion. I love hair. I love making people feel beautiful, even if they don't feel beautiful. When you go get your hair done or you go get your hair cut, you feel good about yourself. You know what I'm saying? So when you don't feel good about yourself, that's when you start worrying and all that other stuff. So your appearance plays a big part in your self-esteem and in your mental minds, in your mental health. You know what I'm saying? It took me a minute to understand that, because as you guys will get to know me and as this podcast goes on, you will understand a lot more about who I am as a person and how my mind works. So, else. Okay, so I did say I love art in all shapes, forms, and fashion. I like to draw. I like to paint. I like anything basically I can do with my hands that's creative. I love music. I've been recording songs for about almost 3 years now, and I'm really, really insecure about my music. You know what I'm saying? It's not so much that I'm insecure. It's like my mind state is at that point where I'm trying to remove myself from that point to where I feel like I'm not good enough to be an artist of that stature. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's just me just venting or me just trying to let everything out, it's like I'm not good enough. It's the same thing with my hair, like with my hairstyles and makeup and everything like that. Like, 1 million people in the world can say, oh my God, you are the shit when it comes to this. You are a fucking beast. And I still think that I am not good enough. And that's a fucked up way of thinking, because you have so many people telling you that you're good at something and you still think that you're not. I mean, it's a very confusing situation, basically, because even though you're putting your all into it because you don't want your name to be defamed for doing shitty work, you still don't think you're good enough to roll with the big dogs. That's just showing, when you start thinking like that, that just means that you don't know your worth, or you don't understand your worth. And that's what I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand my worth and know my worth. So when people see my worth and they say, XYZ, you the shit, blah, 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 I'm like, yes, I know, thank you. And I'm going to continue to master my craft, to continue to make you happy, and to continue to take your money. But that's how shit goes, you know what I'm saying? So it's whatever. It is whatever. Okay, so the other thing is, what I have been diagnosed with or whatever, I have PTSD. It's not all combat based. Some is service connected, some isn't. I also suffer from depression because I was used to a certain lifestyle that I had built for myself, and me not being able, or me not maintaining that lifestyle that I was comfortable in, kind of put me in like this little dark little hole where I couldn't get out for a minute. But I'm pulling myself out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a must, because I can't be out here no old bird. And I'm not saying that I'm old, but I'm not trying to be no old bird out here just being dumb and living off the system. And I'm not saying that I live off the system, but I don't want to live off the system, period. And I don't even want that shit to even be like a freaking afterthought in my mind, period. Like, I do not want to be part of nobody's system no more. Like, as far as like the government, like, I am good, super good, super duper good, super good. So, yeah, so I have PTSD. I suffer from PTSD, depression, anxiety, and like, it's not just like regular depression. Like, I'm a manic depressive. So I have like these spurts of mania, basically, like when I just can't, like, I have to get this done, and then I start it, and then I go to like something else. Like, my mind doesn't stay in one place and focus on that one thing and finish it. And then if it doesn't get finished or whatever, I start it and something happens or I feel a certain type of way, like I just stop doing it and I go to sleep. It don't matter what time it is. Like I have my own business, so I can do as I fucking please. But still, but if I don't feel like doing, like, I can start so many different things at once or in a certain amount of time, and then everything will be unfucking finished because I done push myself so much to do 18 different things in 10 minutes that I've exhausted myself, and I'm just said fuck it and just leave it as is. And that is not fucking healthy. And it's so hard to explain without trying to embarrass yourself, but it's not really embarrassing. It's embarrassing to the person who's going through it because they don't know that some other people might be going through the same thing, but still, it's still not a healthy thing to go through. It's not. It makes me even sadder that it's happening, and I don't have like a consistent circle or like a consistent support system, I should say, because everyone has their own life to live. So I have to find my own ways of letting it out without keeping it bottled and making myself sicker. So I'm not going to bore you guys to death with more of my... Hey, it's your girl Love, and I want to thank you guys for listening to Heartless Beauty. And I encourage you to subscribe to this podcast because it's fucking awesome. And you know it is. We laugh, we cry, we get serious, we do all that. But let's continue to let that run, all right? But in closing, I would like to say, she who embraces life to the fullest is a queen in her own right, and you will always be beautiful in God's light. You know why? Because you are a heartless beauty. Good night, y'all.
Looking like a new bitch. Who's this? Got fries and a whole shake. A snack pack, man, you wanna get your nigga back? I snatched that, man, that nigga never looking back. A whiplash, ho, tell me where the stash at. This quick cash, hold a ransom on your bitch ass. A cash app, man, little booty's coming back. A hashtag. Ooh, that bitch is mad at you. She got the whole goddamn attitude. She really thought that I needed you, boo. I've been on my own since 92. I get paid, bitch. You can't remake a maid, bitch. Everything I do, I slay, chick. If I had a dick, you'd swallow my kid. My mouth full of jizz, don't bite my shit. Tell the DJ he better rock my shit.